Good day, this is Aiza. Here we're going to discuss the preferences of technology generation. In the field of education, it is important that critical differences in perceptions between old and young, which create a generation gap, needs to be discussed. What the old generation likes may not be the same as the new generation prefers in their life, work, and leisure. Now let us have the first preference of technology learners. Text versus visuals. In the past 30 years old generation, our parents read books enriched by illustrations and photos. In order to research, they go to the library. While the digital generation has greater affinity to visuals like photos and videos compared with text. Now take a look at these pictures. Most of the learners of digital generation find it boring to read. Research proved that people retain 40% more information from watching a video than from reading a text. Now let us have the second preference of technology generation. Linear versus hypermedia. When we say linear learners, these are the learners who need a step-by-step exposition of the topic. They need a specific, orderly flow of information or else they lose their focus. They prefer to concentrate on a single task at a time. On the positive side, this has made them more focused, logical, and reflective thinkers. On the other hand, the hypermedia learners follow personal random access to hyperlinked digital information. The learners of this generation are multitaskers. They can perform tasks simultaneously. Next is independent versus social learners. The traditional education system gives priority to independent learning prior to participative work. This means that they are learning individually through discussion with the teacher before the group activity held in the classroom. But the learners of 21st century are called social learners. They are already acquainted with digital tools that adopt both personal and participative work. Personal because they learn at their own through internet, which becomes participative once they share it through different social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and other instantaneous ways to communicate with others through mobile calls and text. Now let's have the fourth preference of technology generation. Learning to do versus learning to pass the test. Teachers of the old generation teach to help students pass the examinations and complete the course requirements, but now it no longer ends there. Teachers of this generation teach for the students to acquire knowledge, skills, and habits as windows of opportunity afford them to learn. Now let me introduce the four C's of 21st century skills. We have the critical thinker, the communicator, the collaborator, and the creator. We have the critical thinker, or the ability to solve problems. It's just easy as that. The communicator, or the ability to understand and communicate ideas. The collaborator, which means working with others to reach a common goal. And of course, the creator, or the ability to produce high-quality work. These forces employ different skills in order to achieve a particular competency. There are three more competencies added recently on top of these four, but we will have to discuss it on a different lesson.
Now, moving on to delayed rewards and instant gratifications. The traditional reward systems in education consist of grades, certificates, medals, and diplomas, or what called the extrinsic motivation. The rewards in the traditional school system consist of unclear rewards for performance. The digital learners on their own experience more immediate gratification through immediate scores from games. There's no need for them to wait for their reward since it's instant. One example is that when you upload a picture on Facebook, you immediately gain rewards through Facebook likes and comments. The last but not the least is rote memory versus fun learning. Rote memory is learning by repetition through memorization. It is content-based course and learnings are measured through standardized tests. While in digital world, learning is fun. Fun learning in a sense that there is an integration of educational technologies which makes learning more engaging, interesting, fun, and of course, educational. An example of this is Wordscapes. It is an educational application by which students form words from the letter presented in this game. This is where the lesson stops. Thank you for watching and God bless.